All right, here we go, guys. We are in a workshop here in Stony Brook, Long Island, specifically at Stony Brook Marine Service. And I'm here with Nick, owner of Stony Brook Marine Service. And we are looking at a Long Island legend here that Nick is revitalizing. Almost 16,000 of these were sold from
about 1971 till almost 1980.
Yeah, and if you grew up on Long Island, you would have seen these beautiful 16-ish foot lap strake boats. This is a John Dory, and they were originally built at this very location.
Yeah, they were designed and built in this building, the first ones.
Which is crazy, and obviously you weren't, Nick. You're not old enough to have been building them back then. But Nick owns the place now, and he's decided to revitalize the brand, to bring it back to life. And, we're always looking for the affordable boat on this channel. We love going to boat shows and looking at boats. And the one comment is crazy expensive. Why can't somebody build a cheap boat, a boat that we can trailer, take out?
Entry level.
Entry level. And this is it. And this is one that is just being made right now, Carolina Blue one. Nick, give us some of the specs, dimensions, what you're doing. How is this different from the original John Dory from 1971?
Originally, it wasn't, the Coast Guard didn't require the upright level flotation. So we had to add 4 inches of, we added 4 inches to the hull sides, and then we added 4-inch billet foam in the bilge, similar to a Carolina skiff, so that we can pass the Coast Guard upright level flotation.
Sure.
Instead of having a plywood transom, it now has Coosa, actually has 26-pound density Coosa. Underneath, we put a rigging tube so you don't have to have any rigging on deck or screws in the deck.
Very cool. Yeah, so you're modernizing
it and keeping any water out of where it would get in the hull.
People who aren't familiar with Coosa, it is water resistant. It is one of the hardest, best materials to use in boat building. I know my Eastward Cat is loaded with Coosa. And so is there any wood on the boat?
There's mahogany rails.
Mahogany rails, okay. So from a structural perspective, not really.
This is just, the mahogany rails make it look nice when they're varnished, and it adds a ton of strength.
Right, okay. All right, and we have two more finished versions of this outside.
Yep.
So we're going to pause the camera for a second. We'll look at them, and then before we're done, Nick will give us some of the pricing too on the outfitted different ways. I think everybody will be shocked. It is very affordable, and those prices will include trailers. Okay, we made a detour before we stopped in Nick's office before we go out and look at one of the molds. Nick wanted to show me this, and I thought this was so cool we had to see it. Go ahead, Nick. Tell us what we got here.
So this photo here is 1974 in the Bahamas. It was the actual cover of Saltwater Sportsman back then. It actually has a shark half the size.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
very cool. That's a John Dory.
That's John Dory. It was on the cover. Here is the brochure shot from Johnson Outboards. They used the John Dory in their brochure.
Yeah, and this is definitely 70s vintage here. Yeah. You can see. And look at all those John Dorys on that semi.
He would transport 16, 18 boats at a time. The original designer was Dave Finkelstein. He designed them right here, and he was a whiz at high production boat building.
Right. And you mentioned almost 16,000.
Oh, 16,000, right? Yeah.
Were built here in Long Island and sent throughout the country.
Between Stony Brook and Bohemia, about 16,000 boats were made.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, cool little detour. Let's go look at the more finished boat outside. Okay, so the guys here at the shop are in the process, Nick, I guess, of rigging this boat, right? Or...
Yeah, we're getting ready to put the mahogany rails on and, some hinges and some other...
and clean up some of the fiberglass work, obviously. This is Stars and Stripes glue, you said?
Yeah.
So this will give you an idea once it's a little more finished. This is not completed, obviously. There's, like Nick said, the mahogany rails go on here, but this is what it'll look like. And you can see this, and I grew up, Nick, I told you the story, fishing on a sturdy dory, which is not a John Dory, but a very similar layout, very similar boat, 25 Merc on the back. And this felt, I almost felt like that boat was a little bigger, but you mentioned that might only be because the floor is raised here 4 inches with the foam. So that boat might have been deeper, but we obviously had no foam flotation in that boat. If anything happened to us out there, we were in trouble. Yeah, for sure. And there's a number of different ways to rig this boat, Nick. Let's go over some of the ways this can be rigged.
Right now, this can be rigged as a tiller. So it would be just a regular tiller. It comes with the cooler strapped down and a pad to sit on, and the trailer. And then another option would be a thwart seat and a side console. A mahogany thwart seat. And
that's what we had, the side console with the mahogany.
Yep, and then the rigging would go down. And if it's power trim and tilt, the battery would go forward, and there's a rigging tube to the back, and it comes with a battery switch, on-off battery switch. And then the other option is a fiberglass center console. Right. Same thing, rigged with the rigging tube.
Yep, when the rigging tube goes straight to the back.
Yep.
And tell us about the pricing.
So the tiller model, boat, motor, and trailer, would be $14,900 with a 20 Suzuki, and another $1,000 more if you want a 25 Suzuki, but that would come with power trim and tilt. Side console and center console is roughly $16,900 with a 25.
Right. So in 2025, to find a 16-foot boat with the trailer, with the motor package for under 20, and significantly under 20, great deal. So we're gonna do one more quick shot. We have a model in the water now. Nick had no idea I was coming here today. I'm actually here with Harvey. You may have seen the video of his boat, his Striper Sea Swirl for sale, or his Sea Swirl Striper for sale. And this was just a bonus that we found out that Nick, the owner of the marina here, actually was building these boats. So there's one in the water. They were not ready for us. They had no idea we were coming.
No, we're actually working on the engine.
And there's a jackrabbit running through the yard. Yeah. So, but let's go check it out because it'll give you an idea of it fully rigged and in the water.
Yep.
All right, and here's a finished model. And Nick, you said this one is a couple years old?
This is a couple years old. It's used for the local kayak rentals. They use it as a chase boat.
Right, but this will give you an idea, and this one's finished in yellow. This will give you an idea of the layout of the boat. Hello. Yeah, I mean, we would and by the way, this shocked me. The water here in this little harbor really moves. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but I'm told sometimes it gets up to like 8 or 9 knots. I mean, it's insane in here. But you can see the layout of the boat. This is laid out as a center console. It's awesome. For 3 people to fish, it's perfect. It's perfect. And I can tell you on the Stony Brook that I grew up fishing in, we had way more than that in there at times. It wouldn't be unusual to have 4 or 5 people porgy fishing on that boat. And again, this one has a 30 on it. Nick, they go up to 30 horsepower, right? Yeah, up to 30. We had a 25. It ran in the low 20s. Didn't really need more than that. Just a great layout, and you can put a seat back there if you like. There's room for an anchor under that. There's another seat up here, the cooler seat there. You can even have a couple people sitting in the back if you wanted to. This brings back a lot of memories for me, very nostalgic looking at this boat. And you can see this is a modern one. It has the foam flotation, it has a bilge pump, it has scupper plugs that wash the water out. This one has an optional bimini on it. Just a awesome little deal. Nick, if people want to reach out to you for more information on building one of these, how can they do that?
They can give me a call at 631-675-0675.
Awesome. All right, well, Nick, I appreciate you showing us this boat. Harvey, thank you for having a boat for sale. That led me to the discovery of the John Dory line here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you like these videos, hit that like button. If you're not already a subscriber and you like content like this, please consider subscribing. And if you're not already a member of the channel, please consider joining. Lots of perks associated with that, including early access to videos and free member trips.